So grab a seat, wrap up your conversations. Thank you. We are so excited to have you here at Forum this morning. My name is Barbara Bynum, and I'm joined by Kathy Heavers and Judy Ann Files and Phoebe Benzinger to bring you all the Forum program. And I'm kicking it off because I am going to announce that based on feedback, we are going to start at 9 o'clock starting in October. And we'll do that October through April. And we can't do that in the summer because the police academy uses the building. But at that point, we'll reevaluate. So we'll go back to 8 o'clock next summer, and we'll evaluate whether we are going to stay at 9 o'clock for the, let's call it fall, winter, spring. And so we'll know more in a year about going forward. But for now, we're here at 8 o'clock through the end of September, and starting in October, 9 o'clock. Make sense? Great, fantastic. And for those of you who said that you didn't like this, we're so sorry, but you were outvoted. In all sincerity, there were people for whom this did not work, but for a huge majority, they preferred this schedule. We're going to try it. We're going to see how it works for everybody. So, question, yeah, Jim?
So we're going to be basically voting with our feet?
Yeah, I guess essentially voting with our feet, but we're also taking into consideration how it works for CMU and their classroom space. They're giving up this classroom space all school year between 9 and 10 for us. And so it isn't just us attending. We're also going to see if it impacts the ability of us to recruit speakers. It may help for the ones who drive here from Grand Junction or the Telluride Ridgeway area, but it may make it harder for some of our local speakers. So it isn't just forum attendees, it's kind of the whole process of putting forum together. So we're going to give it a try though. Okay, while I'm up here, I'm also going to announce next week's program. We'll be joined by Montrose Regional Hospital, and this is a really big word, but it's their gastroenterologist team. And they're going to be talking about how that looks at Montrose Regional Hospital. This is a new department for the hospital, relatively new department for the hospital, so look for more information in your email on Saturday morning. If you don't get emails every Saturday morning, you can sign up. We've got cards up here, just with a little QR code, you sign yourself up. And if you used to get them, but you stopped getting them, look in your spam email box. Sometimes your email program thinks you don't want to get them if you don't actually open them and look at them every once in a while. It'll filter them out. So that's what's on tap for the next year and for next week. With no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy Heavers to introduce today's program.
Good morning. For those people who say there's never anything happening in Montrose, they must be clueless. When I got online, and after I sent the email, in fact, I kept running across more things happening just in the month of June. We're going to focus on what the big things that are happening in Montrose this summer. We'll have 3 different groups of speakers this morning. First, Dave Bowman from Montrose Summer Music Series. Dave, how many years have you been doing this?
This is our 10th year. We've been doing this since 2015. We missed 2020 because of COVID, but we've now done 37 free shows since 2015.
Awesome. So Dave's going to be our first speaker. We will follow that up with the county, and our speakers will be Chad Dunlap, who is an ex officio member of the Fair Board, that's what it said online, and Molly Yorchuk, did I get it right? Montrose County Fair Board President. And they're going to be talking primarily about the fair. And then we'll follow that up with the City of Montrose Pavilion and Community Events Managers, Katie Schroer and Thomas Ceniceros. So lots to learn about. They're going to cover 4th of July, Func Fest, and any other thing that they want to bring up. And then we'll open it up to questions and answers if you have any. So to begin, Dave Bowman, it's all yours. So you can just move back and forth.
Sounds great. I don't need this. All right. Oh, okay. Will's got the camera going. I'm Dave Bowman. I've been in town a few years. I've been doing music events for over 20 years here. I guess starting with Main in Motion, I was on the original board with Dee and Func and Luann Terrell and several other people. And in 2015, I was sitting around talking to my friends, and they were like, how come we can't do something bigger? Because we'd had Main in Motion, we'd had some things at the Elks, but nothing that you could really say was big. And as I was talking, a guy named John Liu, he works for Fidelity Mortgage, said, hey, you know, the city just bought the golf course. Do you think they'd let us have a concert there? It was just a matter of going and talking to Lisa Del Piccolo, who thought it was a great idea. And they said, yeah, we could set up in the driving range. You can't hurt the grass in the driving range. And so in 2015, we started raising money. And I thought what I really want to emphasize this morning is I get a lot of credit for the summer series, but it's the 30 sponsors. At this point, we've grown to the point we have over 30 business sponsors, and they're all small business. You're not going to see any big boxes on this. You're not going to be seeing chains on this, and that's very purposeful. We wanted to be able to make sure that it was the grassroots of the community that put on Montrose Summer Music Series. And I'll go over each individual sponsor if there's time. But at this point, we have over 30 different sponsors, and that's why we get to have 3 concerts. There's a little bit of effort on my part, but it's the 30 businesses that contribute, and a lot of them have contributed every year since 2015. And it's $1,000 to get in, and it goes up from there. And we are very grateful for the city's help too. We couldn't do it without the city. So let me see if I can.
I can help you, Dave, if you want.
If you can just advance it.
Yeah.
Is there just a button?
Like, if you want to show more of the website? And
Yeah, I want to go through the whole website eventually.
like this?
Yeah, and so the first thing you can see is, if you want to know when the show's going to be, it's in, what's that, 23 days? 23 days and 9 hours. So that show will kick off on the 4th of July at 6 o'clock. D&G Railroad, and these are the posters, and Barbara, go ahead just a little bit higher. And D&G Railroad is Donnie Morales and Glenn Patterson and the other group of folks. And one of the things that was important to me as we started this was that our local musicians had an opportunity to come and play on a nice stage. And we had a nice stage at the golf course. Now we have a fantastic stage. Is there anybody that, well, how many of you have seen the amphitheater? You've been out to it. That is such a beautiful facility. For a town our size to have that kind of structure, and it's everything you need to throw a concert, from great electricity to power the sound and lights to the wonderful food court area where the vendors can plug in, there's water there. When we have bands, and every band that headline is from Derek Dove, the Peacekeepers from Georgia, obviously the California Honey Drops are from California, the Wild and Blue, a fairly new band out of Texas, and they'll actually be playing at Country Jam this year. and then the Vandaliers, they're also from Texas. And they were here with us in 2016. But bands come in and they just look around and it's like, wow, what a fantastic space, great sound, great lighting, and the way that the grass is contoured and the hill so that line of sight is just couldn't be any better. The folks that put that together, and again, that the city built that with your tax dollars, so really that's your amphitheater. And that's what the whole theme of the summer series is. It's our community, let's come together. So, I guess I'll talk about California Honey Drops. It's at least an 8-piece band. They were just in Palisade this weekend, and somebody said, yeah, they thought there were more than 8 people. A very big horn section, percussion section, and they're called a retro soul band, and it's sort of a New Orleans kind of sound with just a really nice groove, and I think it's one that's going to be able to reach all ages. And you know, when you put on a concert knowing you're going to have anywhere from an infant to somebody 90 years old, it's a work of art to bring somebody in that everybody's going to like, and I think that we've accomplished that. And one of the missions that we've created for ourselves is every show is a different genre. Last Friday we had Derek Dove, I can think some more. Derek Dove, and that was a Southern rock band. And then we've got the California Honey Drops, which is a big horn band. The Wilder Blue, the Wilder Blue is sort of early Eagles, that kind of really nice country harmonies. And the Vandaliers build themselves as a cow punk band. They originally were a punk band. They discovered country music and put the two things together, and there's a mariachi trumpet in the band too. So it's a real different kind of sound. And that's what we strive for is, let's have a rock band, a blues band, a country band, and a horns band. And I think we've accomplished that 37 times. Excuse me. So those are the bands. And then again, we've got Dave's Fault opened up for Derek and the boys. D&G Railroad, I think most people are familiar with Donnie Morales and the kind of bands that he creates. Those guys have been working for a couple months to just have a fantastic warm-up show on July 4th. Crazy Like a Fox, sort of 80s, 90s cover band. They played a lot around here. And then John Sandoval and the Town Kids. John's fairly new in town, fantastic guitar player, writer, producer, and I know that he's put together a very special band to open that show, and that's going to be a really nice night. Where's the food? Somewhere. Right there. And we have 8 different food carts. Cakes Baby is for all those who have a sweet tooth at some point during the night. They've got cupcakes and all kinds of pastries. They're located in the Pocket Park, if you're familiar with that, on Main Street. And they're open, I think, most every day for a couple hours. A taco truck, Marcio's Grill, is an Italian restaurant or food truck from Ridgeway. Horsefly Brewing, we wouldn't have this without them. DK Snack Shack is what we used to call Subwiches. Blue Ribbon Barbecue. Cedars, which is a new, if you haven't checked that out, they've only been around a couple months, and you can find them on Facebook. They probably have a website, and it's a combination of Mediterranean and Lebanese food, and just fantastic. We've got Corn to be Wild and Polar Express, so we really have a diversity of food, so just about whatever you want food-wise is available, pretty reasonably priced, and it's right there in the food court, again, which is, the way that was built is just amazing. And now let's go to sponsors so you can actually see who we have. Big sponsors are TEI Rock Drills, thank you, Bill. TEI Rock Drills, if you're not aware, they don't do that much business in this town, but the Patterson family has been so generous to this community. It's hard to find a nonprofit event that they're not involved in. And kudos to Bill and the family, and we couldn't do what we do without them. Clear Networks, again, a local internet company. Doug Seacat grew up here, family lives here, and those guys are just going like gangbusters all over the western slope, and now they're into New Mexico, and of course the city of Montrose. Very, very generous, very cooperative, and we just couldn't say enough. Montrose Regional Health, as they grow, they support more things in our community. Horseline Felonies, Stryker Company, if you're not familiar with the Stryker family, they've been around a long time. Scott that runs that, I've known him since he was in elementary school, literally. Alpine Bank, Chowdown, you know, what a beautiful building they have and what that's done to make our downtown even more lovely. Colorado Outdoors, I think you're all familiar with the project over by the river and all the businesses they've brought in. Remax, Montrose Daily Press, Town Square, which is the radio stations, KKXK, KUBC, and there's one other, All Points Transit. We do run a shuttle. They don't operate on July 4th, but typically we run a shuttle from the Pavilion, Columbine Middle School. There's a map on the website, maybe we can find that in a bit. But you can, if there's a limitation to Cerise Park right now, it is the amount of parking. When we pull in 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people, we need to get creative, and I think that Katie will talk about that later on, how the city's gonna work to be able to transport people down to Cerise Park from different parking lots across the city so that there's plenty of room and just to make it easier to get there. Delmont, you know, how do you like the roundabouts? You can thank Delmont Corporation for really doing a great job of working quickly to do really quality work to improve the infrastructure of our town. The flowers, I mean, again, there's another family group that have been here for years and years and contribute to all kinds of great events. Toasty, which is, if you haven't been to Toasty yet, that's the new breakfast place down in Colorado Outdoors, owned by the Fry Smiths. Check that out. Montrose Ford, which is the Abbott family, again, another family that's been here for a long, long time, supports a lot of things. We have our own photographer depot, photography. Lynn and Mike are some local people that just like to contribute to the town. Delby,
They just go by DWC.
yeah, DWC, you know who they are. Soft Touch Dentistry, which is the Stuckey family. We've got a new business in town that picks up garbage from places and takes to the dump for you. Rathbone Hotel. What again, a great, great asset to downtown. KBNF, Enstrom Candy, who came to Montrose from Grand Junction just a couple of years ago and immediately became a sponsor, the liquor store. And I think it's really important that people support local liquor stores. Again, we don't go to the big boxes for money. They don't support events like little independent businesses. And if you want Montrose to stay a small community, we really need to support our small businesses. Dire Concepts is a young man who prints individual t-shirts and mugs and anything that you would need to be individualized personally or for a business. He's there doing that. One of the things that the Montrose County Commissioners do agree upon is the Montrose Summer Music Series is a good thing. And I appreciate that.
Thanks,
Thank you, Sue,
Dave.
very
Thank you.
much.
Appreciate that.
Joe Motion, that's the gentleman that created our website, and he did it just, he said, hey, look, he's fairly new in town, you guys got a great thing going, but you really need a website. And we tried to have one a couple years ago, and I was supposed to be in charge of it, and as you can see, that's not my strength. So that's pretty much the sponsors. Oh, go up to that map.
Dave.
Oh, am I out of time? Okay. Well, thank you very much. Hope to see you all July 4th, and on the other ones, I just love talking about the Montrose Summer Music Series. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Montrose County.
Thank you. I'm Chad Dunlap. This is my third year coming here to address the forum right before fair time. I just want to give a quick shout out. So it was about 3.5 years ago, Commissioner Hanson, Rash, and Caddy, they kind of reorged the fair board and appointed me to a 3-year term. And I just fulfilled that in November of 2024. Had the honor and privilege of serving as president of the fair board, and I'm just truly humbled by that experience and being able to invest in the youth of this community. So thank you, Sue, I appreciate that. I relinquished my president duties to Molly, and she'll speak to you a little bit after I'm done. Fair for this year is July 18th through 26th. It's kind of a slow start, as it is every year. So the 18th is a Friday, and basically all that's going on that day is the dog show, but it's really cool if you've never watched it. That's at the event center. And then Saturday we'll start the horse show, which I grew up doing 4-H and FFA, and strangely enough, before I ever got on the fair board, I had no idea what they did at the horse show, but it is so cool, like to go there and watch those kids and those horses and the things that they can make those horses do is pretty phenomenal. So go watch that. We also have what's called the open show, and that's where you as community members can enter your arts, crafts, whatever that may be for you, quilts, pies, cookies, whatever little niche you have. There's probably an open show category that you can enter that in the fair. Check-in for those things is Saturday and Sunday, so past Sunday, if you don't get it checked in, it can't be entered. So if that interests you, please get down there and do that. Monday, things start to speed up a little bit. That's when all the animals start arriving. It's kind of a chaotic day, trying to wrangle pigs off of trailers and across a scale and into their pen. But if you get there by like Monday afternoon, things should be pretty well settled, and you can walk through the various barns and peruse the animals. Tuesday, the 22nd is community night, starts at 5 p.m. Free food, backed by popular demand. It's not fancy, it's hamburgers and hot dogs, but it's sure good. Last year we had Pagri Cattlemen's Association cooking food, and one of the 4-H clubs served it. So I think we had 1,000 hamburgers and hot dogs, a repeat of that again. So that's going to be at the outdoor arena, the big outdoor grandstands, and it, like I said, it starts at 5, but they're going to do some goat roping out in the arena, as well as the mini bucking broncos, which we had that last year too. That was a good time. Like it's literally like the miniature horses, a little bigger version, kind of, I would say, between a miniature horse and a pony, but these kids strap themselves to those things, and some of those little guys can buck, let me tell you. It was pretty amazing. I'm obviously not going to go over everything in the schedule, but Montrose County Fair and Rodeo.com, it's kind of a live schedule because of conflicts and things that arise. That thing is subject to change, so check it out during the week. Find something that you want to go watch, and go down there and show those kids your support. So animal shows throughout the week. Friday the 25th starting at 4:30, again at the outdoor arena. It's kind of a big event, but it's gonna start off with a mounted archery exhibition. So like shooting bow and arrow from horse. We haven't had that before, so I don't know what to expect, but I would imagine if they're willing to come highlight it in front of a crowd, those folks are probably pretty good at what they do, so.
We did get the non-lethal version.
Oh.
There were 2 options, and that was the one we chose.
That's probably a good idea. They'll also do mutton busting, which I don't know if you're familiar with the term, but it's little kids and they get in the buck and shoot and strap onto a sheep, and they open the gate, and I don't know, one kid rode, it was Katie Jurgensen's little boy, the last year or a year before. I think he rode that thing for like 5 minutes. Like, I'm serious, we had to like drag him off of it. That poor sheep was wore out, so he won. Then the big event for that evening is the bull riding. There is admission fee for Friday night, and it's $15 for adults, $8 for kids, 12 and under. So please come down and watch those things. That's kind of, these paid events is a lot of the fundraising for the fair board and how we're able to put on a fair for the following year. So those are pretty important money-making things for us. So if you can, please come down and attend. Then the big thing, the Saturday the 26th is the junior livestock auction. That starts at 1 p.m. That's where the 4-H and FFA kids that have a market animal entered in the fair, they're allowed to sell one because a lot of the kids show multiple species, but they have to choose one animal that they want to send through the junior livestock auction. It's been really good the past 2 years. As far as the proceeds we're able to get these kids at that auction. And as community members, business owners, private individuals, there's lots of ways that you can support those kids. I'll talk about a few of them. One is what's called add-ons. We have information for this little brochure, so if this piques your interest, please let us know and grab one of those brochures. But an add-on, you can do this however you want. If you know a 4-H or FFA kid that is having an animal that's going through the junior livestock auction, you can do what's called an add-on. And you can do any dollar amount from $1 to the sky's the limit. And you can go in and designate a contribution to go to a certain kid, a group of kids, all the kids in a certain species. You know, if you wanted to go in and say, hey, I want every kid that has a market beef, I want to donate, I want to do a $1 add-on to every kid. Say 50 beef go through the sale, that's $50. But the more people that do that, the more money that kid stands to make at the end of the sale. The other thing is the Stockman's Buyers Club. There's different tier levels of membership for that. Fairly inexpensive, but what we do with that, because some animals bring a higher price than others, so we try to figure like an average floor price per species. So we use the proceeds from the Stockman's Buyers Club to set that floor price. So let's say the average price of market hogs that went through our sale was $3,000, but 6 kids only got $2,600. We would use the proceeds from the Stockman's Buyers Club to bring those kids that fell short up to the average. So it's a pretty important component, because 4-H and FFA have its own benefits. I could talk all day about that, but roles and responsibilities in life, I think it's a worthy investment in these kids, because they're the future leaders of this community, and someday they're going to be standing up here and advocating for the fair, just like somebody did for me when I was in 4-H and FFA. So I digress a little bit, but I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, Stockman's, yeah. So a lot of these kids use the proceeds from their market animals to save for college. Most of them, 4-H and FFAers, they enter 4-H from the earliest time that they can, and they go clear through their senior year of high school. So they use the proceeds from the sale to fund their market project for the following year. So it takes a little bit of money to invest in those things in the future. So we have information on Stockman's Buyers Club, and then it's actually buying at the sale. So you can come down as an individual. There's a buyer's lunch. I think it starts at 11:30 Saturday. You can come down, register as a buyer. We'll feed you, and you can purchase an animal to consume for your own family, or if you're a business owner and want to show some support to your employees and purchase an animal and have that divvied up amongst your employees. Sky's the limit on that stuff. But what you can do as community members to support the fair, first and foremost, is volunteerism. There's all kinds of little roles and responsibilities that if you want a little bit of a time killer, that based on what you're able to do or what your interests are, we can plug you in somewhere in the fair that will help this event flow more freely. So if that interests you, get a hold of us. We'll put you to work as much as you want. Currently, there's also 2 fair board vacancies. It's such a rewarding experience to serve on the board. Pretty much it's planning for the upcoming fair. So when fair ends this year, the August meeting, you're already starting to plan for the next fair, and you meet once a month. There's subcommittees that are broken up, like sponsorship and sale and open show, that various fair board members chair. You as community members, if that interests you, you're allowed to sit on one of those committees. Thank you. I heard you, Sue. Thanks. You're allowed to sit on one of those committees and help bring that to fruition throughout the year. So, yeah, I think that's it for me. I would like to introduce Molly. She's the new Fair Board president. So Molly Yorchuk.
I just have a couple things to add. There's some new things happening this year that we're excited about. First thing I want to talk about too, for the buyer's lunch on Saturday at 11. It's a beefier. Historically, we switch what main dish we serve each year. This year it's a beefier, and we're going to partner with Cattle Women's. And Cattle Men's, they're going to cook the beef, but it's going to be a slow roasted brisket. Kids are helping cook it overnight. Sue, did you know that?
Yeah, I know. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad I came.
So that's going to be great. On Saturday, we have a history with Cattle Women's. They're going to have the Chuck Wagon Pavilion serving lunch all week. So that lunch for the buyers is going to be fantastic on Saturday. The two new things I wanted to talk about, Montrose Historical Society this is their first time that I know of coming to the fair. They're going to set up an exhibit in Friendship Hall where we're going to have all the vendors. They'll set up some different exhibits right in the front there to kind of help emphasize the fair in our community throughout the years. And they will also have a small exhibit in the event center where the open show is. Second new thing is we're partnering with CSU. They have a mobile science exhibit. I think it's probably a little bit smaller than the CSU one that's out there on the street, but it will be inside Friendship Hall. It's called Sci on the Fly. They have kind of a permanent residence at the National Western Stock Show throughout the month of January, if anyone's familiar with that. The kids or adults can go in, and there are different science exhibits kind of tailored toward livestock and animals within the trailer. And I think it's going to be a great addition to the hall this year. We're about 70% full as far as vendors. We're trying to get to 100%. So if you know any vendors in the community that want to spend a week with us at the end of July, send them our way. I think those are my new additions for the year. Thank you.
Thanks to the two of you, and now we'll turn it over to the city.
Alrighty, everybody, hello. Thank you guys so much for coming out here. My name is Thomas Ceniceros. I am the Pavilion and Community Event Coordinator.
And my name is Katie Schroer. It's actually now going to be Katie Riley. And I am the Pavilion and Community Events Manager. So we're excited to come to you guys and talk to you about the upcoming festivities that the city is going to be discussing, and also ways that you guys can get involved. So Thomas, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much. So our 4th of July celebration is coming up pretty fast. Thankfully, Dave Bowman and the Montrose Summer Music Series is partnering with us so that we can both make this just a really great day, just since it falls on the exact same time. On that day, we are going to be starting out at 10 a.m. That is going to be our parade. It follows that new parade route going on Main Street, then it wraps up onto North 1st. Our theme is going to be Heroes Among Us, so you can go ahead and show off the heroes in your life, in the community that you know of, just anything to just kind of show the American spirit. We're really excited. We already have, I think, 8 groups signed up already. We still have room though, so if you would like to, the website, I think is cut, oh no, it's right here, cityofmontrose.org/July 4. Our parade registration is on there, so if you want to sign up your organization, please feel free. We'd be happy to have you. But after 10 a.m., once that parade is finished, we're going to give you guys a little break. You guys can go home, grab your coolers, grab your chairs, grab some tents, so you can head down to the Montrose Amphitheater and get ready for all of our activities. At 1 p.m., we're going to start with our food village, which you saw earlier on Dave Bowman's website. We're going to have some vendors and then some kids' activities right on the amphitheater lawn. So you guys can go ahead and get set up, have some fun with your family, grab some food. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be a little bit of time for Horsefly to get set up at 3 p.m. We're going to have our beer garden. And then finally, we're going to have our free concert. It starts at 6 p.m. with D&G Railroad. Obviously, Donnie Morales is great. We're super excited to have him. At 7 p.m., we're just going to have a quick intermission to get California Honey Drops ready. And they are going to be our headliner at 7:30 p.m. They are going to go for about 2 hours till 9:30. So we have a quick little 10-minute break. This just kind of allows you to turn your chair from looking at the amphitheater, turn it backwards so you can go look at that mesa for our fireworks show, which is going to be brought to you guys by Zambelli. That should wrap up our really, really busy and great 4th of July concert, which is going to be, again, partnered with the Montrose Summer Music Series. We're super excited for it, but that's not all. We actually have one event the next day on July 5th. It's going to be our pancake breakfast. It is going to be hosted by Welcome Home Alliance for Veterans. It's a group that we work with for the 4th of July as well. It's going to be held at the organization. It's out over on Main Street, out east of town, next to the Black Canyon Boys and Girls Club. It's going to be really nice, just really simple. It's free for you guys to come. Just show some support and grab some really nice food the day after a real busy day.
Thank you, Thomas. Just a couple little things to note. No tents at the amphitheater, please. We don't allow staking because of our irrigation system. So yes, bring your chairs, bring, coolers.
No alcohol.
Yeah, no alcohol.
Yeah,
But yeah, we want you to utilize our food village that will have drinks and food, and also the beer garden that will be in partnership with Horsefly and the Black Canyon Rotary Club. So we're super excited. One thing that I want to preface is that it's been talking with Dave Bowman. He and I were like, I don't know if 4th of July has ever fallen on a summer music series day. So we're really, really excited to work with Dave and have him put on his incredible Montrose Summer Music Series concert, along with us doing all of our activities as well. So one of the things that Dave had mentioned was parking. So generally the Summer Music Series does work partners with All Points Transit, thank you. And they have different locations that they pick up people from. Unfortunately, they don't work on 4th of July. So we are partnering with Welcome Home Alliance for Veterans, who are going to be shuttling people from a few different lots. We'll have that listed on our website. And they're also going to have golf carts. So there's going to be about 10 golf carts that they will be able to transport people from the parking lot who may be disabled or have a lot of kids or whatever the case may be. So they developed us with it last year and they did an awesome job. And so they have actually 3 different shuttles that they will be able to utilize. So we're really, really excited to work with them. And so yeah, those are just kind of a few things that I want to point out, and I will go ahead and take it over and talk about Func Fest. All right, so Func Fest is going to be 2 days. In the past, Func Fest has either been 1 or 2 days. We're kind of keeping it to tradition of 2 days. So Friday is kind of the kickoff. So 5 p.m. we're going to kick it off with food truck, village, and beer garden. We are also this is going to be our 10th year. So Func Fest is a really special event for me because it's the event that the city created. And there's a lot of history of how Func Fest became to be. And so we're going to work with having some speakers there to kind of talk about the history of Func Fest, how the name came about. If you guys don't know, Func Fest stands for Fun on the Uncompahgre River, to celebrate our river and our water park. And then, so we're really excited about that. We'll have our 6 p.m. opening acts. We will have Neon Sky as the opener, and then we will kick it off with our closing act, which is
Living on a Bad Name.
Living on a Bad Name. So they have been here before, very, very popular, so we're excited to bring them back. They're excited to come back to Montrose. And then After that, everybody can go home, rest up, and then we're gonna kick it off on Saturday, August 9th, for all of our festivities. It's a big day because we got all of our water competitions, we got our vendors, we got lots of different things going on. So 9 a.m. we're gonna have registration open for all events. So we have about 4 to 5 different competitions that people can register for to participate. We got stand-up paddleboarding, we have a kayak race, lots of different things for anybody that's into water sports. And then we'll have 9 a.m. our vendor village will open. Super excited about that. If you guys are interested, we are still looking for vendors. We have people come from a lot of locals, but people that come from out of town to be a part of this event. It's it's our largest event. So we get people kind of from all over. The next thing is our kids activities will open. We have an array of different things that you can bring your kiddos to. And then 4:30 p.m. we have our opening acts. So Thomas, he knows them off the top of his head, so I'll let him speak to who all is going to be performing. So
Yes, so for the opening act, we are trying to get the River Arkansas. We're going to be going for about an hour and having an intermission from 5:30 to 6. From 6 we have, is it Big Brown Family or is it just Brown?
Brown family.
Brown Family. We're going to have the Brown Family Band going until 7 p.m. in which we're going to actually have our award ceremony for all the people that participated in the water sports activities earlier in the day. And then finally, our headlining act is going to be, give me 1 second.
It's the Williams Brothers.
The Williams Brothers, thank you.
Yes. So we're super excited to have them. So we kind of have an array of different music. The River Arkansas?
Yes, the River
They
Arkansas.
are more like bluegrass type of style. Brown Family Band is more kind of, I don't know, stock rock, yeah. They're a lot of fun. And then Williams Brothers is more of your blues. They are awesome. They have been here before. Really great energy. They've actually gained quite a bit more of a following, so we're really excited to host them. And then at about 9 o'clock, we will end up the show around 9:30 will be when we kind of close everything up. Food Village will close and everything like that, but it's full of tons of different activities and we're super, super excited. So that kind of leads us into, we can't do these events, just Thomas and I and the city. We rely on our partners here in this community as well as volunteers. So we're going to talk about some ways on how you guys, if you're interested, different volunteer opportunities. I will let Thomas kind of speak on 4th of July, and then I'll speak a little bit on Func Fest, and then that will kind of conclude that. So I'll go ahead and get started. Or Thomas, go ahead and get started.
Yes. Absolutely, thank you guys so much. So again, like you said, we really can't do it alone. We rely a lot on some help that we can receive. And if you're able to, and if you're interested, we do have opportunities for you guys to help for the 4th of July. It really starts in the morning. One of our biggest volunteer needs is the parade. It's just such a big undertaking that we have to have a lot of volunteers. Some of the things that we need are just checking in floats. We give you a list of all the folks that are going to be in there. You just go up to each person. You have you find them on the list, make sure they're checked in so they're all good to go. Gathering any waivers from participants, just making sure that we've crossed all of our T's and dotted all of our I's. Everybody's good to participate. And then just helping vehicles get lined up. As soon as that happens at, about 9:50, the parade will start. We'll send you on your way with a complimentary food voucher and drink/dessert token as just a little thank you for helping us out so that you can use that later on in the day at the Food Truck Village and at the Beer Garden. If you want to help out later in the day at the amphitheater, we have things like helping man kids activities, handing out swag, providing some assistance with parking, and just giving people some directions on where things are. These are just some great things to just help out, make sure that everything runs smoothly there, we don't have any issues. And then you can also help us out actually on July 5th with the pancake breakfast. We just help Welcome Home Alliance set it up, cook, tear down. It's really simple. All these things are pretty easy. We try to set you guys up so that there's not really any issues. Simple duty, and just kind of follow through. And yeah, we're really excited to have it. But yeah, we hope that people who are able to can help us out make this an even better event.
Thank you, Thomas. That's great. So for Func Fest, like I said, is we just have so much different things going on for Func Fest, and so it's really awesome to have a great array of volunteers to help make these events happen. So I'm not going to go through all the things, but for Friday, August 9th, we have parking logistics, assisting attendees and other tasks. On Saturday, we have, again, some check-in, registration, judging for water sport competition. Every volunteer that does this task loves it. If you are a water enthusiast, it's a lot of fun. Every time that we have volunteers do this portion of it, they are always like, "Oh, sign me up again," because it's a lot of fun.
It is really great. And sorry, I just want to butt in real fast. There's no experience required to be a judge for the water sports activities. Anybody can step in.
Yeah.
Like she said, it's a lot of fun. If
It
you want to
is.
just have a good Saturday on August 10th, feel free to join
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you get to just see, I think a part of it that's so, that way the judges enjoy it so much is just getting to watch everybody and how they perform on the water and stuff. It's pretty entertaining. Of course, Montrose for water sports competitions, helping vendors to set their spots, assisting attendees, and water safety guards. This one is, we like people that have a little bit of experience in water, who have kind of a water safety background. So that one do require a little bit more experience, but if you are very comfortable in the water, have that kind of, we would welcome that. So a lot of great opportunities. For more information, you can go to visit montrose.com/func. Where we'll continuously be updating our website. Same with the City of Montrose /4th of July. We'll continue updating the website with all the things that are going to be happening, provide more detail of the different partners that we're going to be working with, vendors, and so forth. So yeah, we're really, really excited about these events. They're a lot of work, but we love what we do, and we love that we can service the community and bring a lot of joy and different experience and memories. So we hope to see you guys out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.